Hello, peeps. Welcome back. Today we're joined by Miss Cristina, who is going to tell us a bit about the personal project.
Thank you for joining us, Ms. Cristina. Today, we would like to talk more about the personal project, as Maria said, and would really like to uncover what students are facing and what their student life is how their student life is changing with this new project.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm so happy to join you this morning. So we can start talking about the personal project and the importance of the personal project in our grade 10 students' lives.
So, just to kick it off, you already mentioned that it's very important. Do you want to elaborate a bit on that?
Of course. I'm saying that it's important because mostly this is the highlight of all the middle years program. It's a highlight and a showcase of their ATL skills, the skills that they students have acquired through the MYP years.
Yep.
What do you think? What is the importance of pursuing their passions in relation to their ATL skills and choosing their topics, for example?
I have to be honest. I think for me personally, as a personal project coordinator, I think this is an amazing opportunity for all students because this is at this stage, students are embarking on a learning journey where they're using the ATL skills, but also creating a project that is let's put it this way, it's related to their passions and interests. So if you are passionate about something and you want to create a personal project about it uh, in context or connected with a global context, then this is your opportunity to do something that you really enjoy. The personal project starts in grade 9 and ends in grade 10. So it's a long-term project, and it should be something that is something that the students are really interested in or passionate about.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think we both remember when we went through this whole journey how challenging to some extent it was to choose something that we were passionate about. Um, how do you recommend like students find what they're passionate about? What can they do to make that easier?
You know what, Maria? That's a good question because I think that's where we struggle a bit to identify our passions and interests. But I would say, you know what? Think about something that you've been doing lately because we are in distance learning for so long. Maybe something that you discovered that you are passionate about, maybe a workout program or reading, or I don't know. Let me put it this way, maybe you are into creating movies, short movies, or like a series of videos for promoting cooking. So those are kind of passions that you have, maybe we have discovered in the last year, but also it can be something related to a unit of inquiry, something that you, I don't know, maybe in humanities you discover that you are passionate about or interested in a topic, and then you create your project around that idea.
Yeah, totally. I also remember that it was new to us to actually come up with our own inquiry questions, and it took a bit of rethinking and really narrowing down our projects. But what are some things that students, prospective students of doing the personal project, have to keep in mind before coming up with their inquiry questions?
Mm-hmm. You know what? I would suggest that they should start with and we'll be doing this together, and we did this together as well, to start with brainstorming, maybe talking to the parents as well, to teachers, because they will have a supervisor in the end. But I think the most important thing is to like brainstorming, write down your ideas on a piece of paper. These are my interests. This is something that maybe I would be interested in creating as a personal project or focusing, because this is a long-term project. So you will be focusing on that, on something that you should enjoy, because we'll be talking probably about like self-management and so on, and how sometimes motivation, that's a problem that happens. But if you are passionate about that, I'm guarantee you that you will be like focusing on the project, saying like, hey, I need to post more, or maybe I should do more research on this topic because I just found something interesting about, I don't know, my passions, something that I haven't thought before about it, you know?
Yeah. I think you mentioned two good things there, and I guess I'll start with one. You mentioned that we should really enjoy what you do in your personal project, and I think that's actually the biggest part. It's such a long process that if you don't enjoy it, you'll lack that motivation that you also mentioned. And going off of that, with self management and time management and motivation, how important is that to actually, completing everything, report, product?
I would say with that part, Maria, students should create a plan with like a long and term plan, because this helps you organize yourself. Because if you set goals for yourself, like small goals, saying like by the end of September I will have my goal, I will have my goal connected with a global context and so on, and things are going to change next year a little bit with the global context, but I will tell you more maybe towards at the end of this podcast. But at least for this stage where we are, for this year, so the students were supposed to connect the goal with the global context and so on. So we have, and we try to help the students by creating deadlines on ManagePack with to-do lists. So the personal project is broken down in specific stages, and students can use those lists to create their own schedule, their own plans.
Okay, that's extremely useful, especially for them to work on their ATL skills and really improve them, I think. How has, even though maybe you said that we want to talk about it later, how has the personal project really changed during Corona times?
I think it was challenging for all students because, first of all, we haven't had the exhibition yet. So the plan is to have it maybe in April or May. We'll see if we can be on campus, or if not, it's going to be online. But I think that was a part that was missing, because the exhibition was a good opportunity for our students, to showcase what they have learned, to show their products, to show their planning skills, and also to improve their social and communication skills, because that's an event where you are kind of not necessarily selling yourself, but you are selling what you have done so far, right? So we missed that part. But starting this year, the personal project will be like focusing on your own learning. What would you learn? What the students would like to learn through the personal project, and also creating a product. But in the same time, students will have to choose ATL skills that they are going to develop throughout the process. So that's something that is changing a bit. We still had the ATL skills, but this time is more specific, like, oh, I'm going to work on this skill, and so on. And you have to make sure that you have evidence for like how you are improving those skills throughout the process. But that's something that honestly I'm looking forward to seeing happening, because I think it's important for our students to have their own learning outcomes from the personal project. I would love to learn by the end of the project maybe how to cook using, I don't know, some Romanian specific ingredients. That was an example.
Yeah. Well, I think we've reached the end of our podcast. Would you like to add anything overall about the personal project? And
yes, please, if possible, I would love to send this message to our students, especially, because this is a project that takes place in grade 9 and throughout grade 10. I would say choose something that you are really passionate about, something that maybe you didn't discover your passion yet, but still focus on your interests, because this is a long journey, but a rewarding one. I honestly, I recommend, if I were you, I would do something that I would feel like, okay, you know what? I can use this in my digital portfolio. I can use this in my future and for my future career, saying like in grade 10, I had this amazing project that I created because the MYP is, part of the IB curriculum. So yeah.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. Um, we would like to thank you for coming on and helping us and giving us a little bit of information about some changes in the personal project, but also some advice for the younger students. And yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah. So just to wrap up, Christina, you can go first this time.
Yes. Okay, so I think Miss Cristina gave us some like really valuable insight. She obviously has helped us get through the personal project, and it's been like a prosperous time for us. We learned a lot. We were able to follow dreams and like do stuff we were really passionate and enjoyed doing about. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's important to remember that you have to stay motivated, and those are key skills.
I think maybe we can both agree with this. But I for sure do agree with this. For me, the report and the product were I really enjoyed doing both of those parts, and I think the most nerve-wracking part for me was the exhibition. But yeah, I guess we'll have to see how it will look. I'm very excited to see like the changes in application and see what will happen and what students can come up with.
Yeah, especially as the current grade 10s are probably going to do it online, and maybe we're even going to encourage more people to join and actually see this exhibition. That's fun.
Well, that's it for today, peeps. Have a nice day.
Have a nice day. Bye.
Bye.